They say it's easier to rule a city than it is to rule yourself. This is the story of a man who discovered why, and what he did to finally free himself. Once upon a time, in a quiet town nestled between towering mountains, lived a man named Elias. From the outside, Elias seemed ordinary, a man who went about his day, working, eating, sleeping, and repeating the cycle. But inside, he was at war with himself. You see, Elias carried something invisible, yet unbearably heavy. It was a weight that clung to his back, slowing his every step. And the most haunting part, he didn't know how to put it down. He couldn't even remember when he picked it up. The weight was made up of pieces of his past memories that lingered in his mind like ghosts. Some were over a year old, yet still felt fresh, raw, unresolved. Every time one of those memories came to the surface, it was as if the weight grew heavier. What Elias didn't know was that his mind had never fully processed those memories. They festered like unhealed wounds, producing a slow but steady stream of stress. The more unresolved memories he carried, the more his body strained under the pressure. It wasn't long before he began to notice the toll it was taking. His energy was drained, his mind foggy, and his body ached with tension. One day, as Elias walked through the forest near his home, he came across a large stone. He was drawn to it, and as he approached, he noticed it had words etched into its surface. "This stone is yours to carry, but only if you choose." Intrigued, Elias reached out and touched the stone. In an instant, he felt its weight transfer to his shoulders, just like the invisible burden he had carried for so long. But this weight was tangible, and it pressed down on him with a force that nearly brought him to his knees. At first, Elias thought he could manage it. After all, he had been carrying an invisible weight for years. But as time passed, the stone grew heavier. His body compensated, his shoulders hunched, his steps slowed, and soon every part of him was involved in the struggle to keep moving. Days turned into weeks, and Elias continued to carry the stone, each day feeling more and more like an eternity. The weight was no longer something he noticed consciously. It had become a part of him, so much so that he forgot what it felt like to be free. But deep down, Elias knew he couldn't go on like this. The stone was breaking him, little by little. He could feel it in his bones, in his heart. And so, one day, he found himself standing in front of a river, the stone still clutched tightly in his arms. He stared at the water, watching it flow gently over the rocks, and for the first time in a long time, he wondered what would happen if he let go. With trembling hands, Elias loosened his grip on the stone. It wasn't easy, his fingers had grown stiff, locked around the weight after holding it for so long. But slowly, carefully, he began to unfurl them. And then, with a deep breath, he let the stone slip from his hands. It tumbled into the river with a splash, sinking beneath the surface until it was gone from sight. As the weight left his body, Elias felt an overwhelming sense of relief. His shoulders straightened, his breath came easier, and for the first time in years, he felt light. But it wasn't just the physical relief that struck him. It was something deeper, an emotional release, a sense of peace he hadn't known in what felt like a lifetime. Elias sat by the riverbank for a long time, watching the water flow. He realized then that the stone was a metaphor for all the unresolved memories and emotions he had been carrying. The stone had been a burden, yes, but it had also been a choice to hold on to the past, to cling to pain that no longer served him. And in letting go, Elias discovered that healing wasn't about forgetting the past. It was about transforming it, about turning old pain into new wisdom, and allowing the flow of life to carry away what no longer belonged to him. From that day on, Elias walked lighter. The memories were still there, but they no longer had the power to weigh him down. He had faced his inner demons, released his burdens, and in doing so, had reclaimed his life. He realized that true strength didn't come from holding on, it came from knowing when to let go. And as he continued his journey, Elias knew that he was stronger for it. The story of Elias is a reminder to us all. We carry burdens, memories, pain, unresolved emotions, and they weigh us down, often without us even realizing it. But the power to change, to improve our lives, lies in our ability to let go. So ask yourself, what weight are you carrying? And what would happen if you finally let it go? Remember, mastering yourself is the true power, and with every burden you release, you grow stronger, lighter, and more free. If you found this story meaningful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on self-improvement, psychology, and the journey to a better life. Until next time, remember, the power to change your life is in your hands. You just have to choose to let go.